Hello, every pony. This is Nightlife again, and I'm deciding to pull up some random comedy. And I really, really love laughing. Okay, I'm on film fiction right now, looking for comedy. Ooh, Hearts and Hooves, say by Silverhoof looks pretty good. Let's see here. The CMC tries to set two ponies up with each other, other than the main characters. That includes minor shipping, none of it sexual, caution, rating may change. Oh, it's incomplete. So let us continue on. The Great Coffee Explosion of Mount Doom. Ooh, it's complete, 1,000 words, and it's rated teen. So it's comedy, crossover, random, alternate universe. This story that I came up with after watching a weird video from YouTube. It doesn't have a plot. No pun. Oh, I'm liking this already. Alright, wait. The Rainbow Factory. What's this? After Rainbow Dasher comes to a terrible accident, Twilight Sparkle and her remaining friends gather for the funeral, but who is a strangely familiar Pegasus pony standing in the doorway? Who are the two ponies in black who accompany her, and how does this relate to Cloudsdale's mysterious Rainbow Factory? Nah, we're gonna do the Great Coffee Explosion of Mount Doom. Its first and only chapter is called What? As in W-A-T. This is gonna be good already. I can tell already. Okay. Alrighty then. The page has loaded. Now let us begin. It was a beautiful day in Equestria. The sun was shining, the birds were singing, and I almost forgot. No, it's frozen. But for some reason it's still recording. There we go. This story is by Rock. That's capital R, lowercase o, capital C, capital K, on filmfiction.net. Check him out. He or she is awesome. Alright. It was a beautiful day in Equestria. The sun was shining, the birds were singing, and the ponies were walking around, doing their usual chores and tasks. All except Twilight Sparkle, who was inside of a giant rubber ball rolling down the slopes of Mount Doom, crushing ponies as she went. Whee! She screamed as the slopes of Mount Doom were being slowly covered in the entrails of ponies who had unfortunately did not have the mental capacity to move. Fluttershy was at the bottom of the mountain, looking up at the giant red-covered ball heading towards her. She squealed, "Oh no!" Then the ball smashed her face into the ground, leaving an imprint of her face in the soil. The force of the impact shook Ponyville with a giant earthquake that measured 1.337 on the Richter scale. Holy shizen! The giant earthquake then started to destroy Ponyville and started to cause explosions throughout which vomited out YouTube a million times, and then the YouTube started to dance the polka while singing Avenged Sevenfold, and played in the air guitar solo while doing so. What the fuck? First chapter, I'm already doing what the fuck. Ponyville was getting turned into jelly, literally. All the buildings turned into jelly and fell to the floor with a noise that can only be described as a giant Minecraft slime fapping, which also eating other slimes while doing so. What? Meanwhile, Fluttershy picked herself up and went to see Pinkie Pie, who was eating all the buildings. Fluttershy tapped Pinkie Pie with a hoof, which Pinkie Pie responded by eating Fluttershy's face, and also Falcon punched an eagle. Fluttershy fell to the floor and exploded into Spike, who then went to look for Rarity. Pinkie kept eating. Rarity was busy making a dress for Rainbow Dash, who was outside running after her wings, which had somehow sprouted legs and detached from her sides. The wings had lost speed, the speed they once had, but made up for it by throwing muffins at Rainbow Dash, which Derpy then stole and ate them. This caused Derpy to implode into Joseph Stallion, who then set about making giant lines of tanks, which then ran over Twilight's rubber ball and popped it, causing Twilight to fly to the moon. for 1,000 years. Spike burst in through the door in Variety's boutique with a chainsaw. Freddy looked at Spike inside as in her usual annoying fashion. No pun intended. Then she said, "Spike, this isn't really time to disturb the master of the dress." To which Spike replied, Do I look like I give a shit, you filthy whore?" And proceeded to disembowel Rarity, who started whining. Meanwhile, in Candlelight, the Princess Celestia was spying on some ponies having fun through a telescope. Princess Luna kept being awesome, and the royal guards kept having an orgy with some flame-throwing keyboards from the fifth cupcake dimension of Torlantak. Princess Cadence was eating a bullet which was seasoned with gunpowder and marinated in the blood of apples when she got a call from the letter T, who asked her to die, and so she did, and then resurrected herself to become the super pony of the fourth wall, which allowed her to jump out of the computer monitor and walk the human world, which she didn't like because it had gravel. What the fuck am I reading? Back in Ponyville, Applejack was rounding up some bunnies since Fluttershy died a horrible, painful death, which can only be described as molten steel being poured into your eyeballs while having needles put into your stomach, pumping out the acid and pouring it onto your face, while Applejack was rounding up the bunnies by lassoing them, which inadvertently turned them each into popsicles that were flavored by the famed deodorant cans of Saytech 2. Rarity was still whining after being dismembered by Spike, who was now proceeding to smoke a microphone filled with film fiction stories, which were all plot fixed because Spike is strange like that. Meanwhile, the worst pony, Twist, was eating muffins while Joseph Stalin saw and ran over to her and punched her into oblivion, and the muffin was devoured by Stallion in front of his starving people, who then started a revolution and caught Stalin. It's Stalin, who then imploded and exploded at the same time, which made a black hole that only sucked in Soviets. That is how the Soviet Union became Russia. True story. Rainbow Dash was still chasing after her wings, which had somehow managed to summon a Harley Davidson with sidecar mounted MG42, which was firing jelly beans at a rate of 1,200 calories per minute. Meanwhile, Photo Finish was making Z-Magics, which is impossible for her since she is an Earth pony, and all which caused Chuck Norris to pop out of fucking nowhere, and then roundhouse kick Celestia in the face for being a pervert who liked cake made out of towels. Suddenly, Gordon Freeman burst out of Celestia and started an epic battle between himself and Chuck Norris. The battle raged for many jiffies until Gordon Freeman overcame Chuck by tapping him and eating his face, a trick he had learned from the great pink master of light bulbs assassins from the star Ben. I don't even know how to pronounce that word. Meanwhile, a Skyrim guard had his knee shot by an arrow, while Photo Finish killed chickens, which somehow caused every single guard civilian to start attacking her, because they must see chickens as their gods or something. Photo Finish was holding them off with her camera flashes, which blinded them. Final chapter, or final paragraph, y'all. Suddenly, everything shook again, and 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 again, until I stopped using Control and C, Control V to increase the word count of this fix. Suddenly, Mount Doom exploded with the force of 1,000 supernovas, if you count Pop Rocks as supernovas, and sprayed finely blended Arabic coffee everywhere. This caused ponies to get really hyper and join together in the giant ball to explode Equestria. The end. What the fuck? that was more random than Pinkie Pie could ever be in her entire life. Holy crap. I probably won't even need to use Oh my gosh. Oh, my mouth is hurting. My sides are hurting so much. This is Nightlife, and I have no clue what the fuck I just read. Nightlife out.